What's going on YouTube? I'm Chae McFadden and I want to talk today about why you might be hesitating on starting your fast, or why you might be hesitating on choosing different things to eat to contribute to the welfare and the wellness of your body. A lot of us have grown up being used to eating certain things for certain reasons, like chicken, for example. A lot of us believe, and it's true, that chicken has a high amount of protein in it. Instead of just relying solely on chicken, for example, you've got other sources of protein like salmon. You've got plant protein that you can find in things like quinoa, chickpeas, pumpkin seeds, things like that. There's a plethora of food items out there where you can get your protein from that will actually contribute to a successful fast, okay? But a lot of why people choose to delay their fast is hesitation. A lot of people hesitate to begin their fast based off of a myth that they might have heard from somebody else who tried fasting and got uncomfortable with it for the first 2 days and couldn't push themselves through the rest of the process. It's up to you to figure out how to get through the process and to know that you can make it through the process without having the negative talk and negative feedback from other people. When I started my first fast about 6 years ago, I had everybody telling me, "Oh, Che, you really shouldn't do that. You're going to cause more harm than help to your body," and all of this craziness. And I'm like, okay, well, let me think about this for a second. Right now, on a regular basis, I'm eating garbage, man. I'm eating crap that has several different types of ingredients in it. Where, one food might have the first ingredient as salt, or another food might have the first ingredient as, I don't know, some kind of glycerol or glycerin, some kind of sugar, something like that. I had to really stop and think about this for myself. I'm like, I'm already putting bad things into my body. I could go out here and start putting the good things into my body, eating right, and eating the appropriate food to contribute to a successful cleanse, detox, and fast. But what about the food that's still stuck in my system that I haven't gotten rid of, or that's been there for so long? And there's this whole myth behind the food that we take in, that we eat, depending on whether it's pork or meat or some kind of seafood, or just sugary foods and things like that. The myth is that that food will stay in your system. Well, it's funny to call it a myth, because it's actually not a myth at all. It's true. You've got, in your intestines, you have different crypts, you have different pockets, okay, that tend to hold on to waste a certain kind of way, as opposed to allowing it to kind of flush itself out. That's where the cleanse and the detox come in. Okay, we eat certain things, or we drink certain things to help loosen that stuff and break that stuff up. But a lot of weight loss programs and a lot of people in charge of weight loss programs will not tell you, okay, especially if if this is your first time on a weight loss regimen or some kind of fast or something like that, they will not tell you that the first 5 to 10 pounds that you actually lose comes from the waste that is still sitting in your system. Okay, they won't tell you that. And the problem with that is, if you have that waste in your system, you're not allowing your body to take in the nutrients that it's supposed to take from the food that you eat. That's one of the main reasons why we fast before we decide to either change our diet or go on some kind of strict workout regimen and just taking ourselves down a path of trying to get right, but we're actually digging ourselves a deeper hole, if that makes sense. Okay, when we eat food and we put it over top of whatever we've already been eating, we restrict the rate of our body's absorption of that food. Okay, we restrict the rate. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. It happens. It happens at a much slower rate. This is why we cleanse. This is why we detox. This is why we fast before we say, hey, you know what? I'm going to start eating right and getting myself back into shape. All right? Remember, I'm here doing this with you. I'm here showing you that it can be done. In the past 14 days, I've already lost a significant amount of the weight. Once the waste was gone, I started burning the fat from all the carbs that I had been eating in the past. I started burning all of that stuff off practically by just existing. Okay? Now, when I said the hard work starts now, the hard work being me getting back in the gym, working out on a more consistent basis, and really dedicating myself to eating a healthier diet, okay? Eating much healthier food. But hesitation is not going to help you out, all right? You want to start fasting, you know you want to do it. Don't say, oh, well, I'll start tomorrow or I'll start next week. Start making a plan and start now. Start right now. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing stopping you. Start, you wake up in the morning, have a room temperature glass of water, okay? Spring water or distilled water. Again, like I mentioned before, all right? After that, by 10 o'clock, maybe 11 o'clock, have a grapefruit. Grapefruit is delicious and very good for detoxing, honestly, if you ask me, in my opinion. I mean, it did me justice for a long time, all right? Discouragement. I want to talk about that. A lot of people are going to try and discourage you from this process. They're going to try and tell you, hey, you really shouldn't do this, or we don't believe that you should be doing this, or you're not doing it the right way. If they're saying these things to you, you need to ask them one question, okay? Have you ever successfully completed a fast more than 7 days, 7 to 14 days? Very likely they're going to say no, okay? Even me doing my fast, there are some things that I do that others don't do, okay, that might not work out for them. But I'm just showing you a way that this can work. So that's for discouragement. The naysayers, the same thing. They're going to say, hey, you know, it really is not something that you should do. You're going to hurt yourself. They're going to say these things to you in hopes that you'll give up on it. Because maybe they did try it, and maybe they weren't successful. Maybe they got some bad advice on it, okay? And maybe they don't know what they're really supposed to tell you. So they'll tell you based off of a bad experience that they had. As human beings, we work off of what we see, okay? So if you see somebody successfully doing something, you'll then be more inclined to ask yourself, hey, can I try this? Will this work for me? What do I need to do to get started? You're not gonna listen to the person that's saying, no, you shouldn't do that because this, and oh, well, I never did it, because you're not gonna listen to them. You shouldn't listen to them. I'm not gonna say you're not. I mean, people surprise me every day. But, you know, the chances of you reading a book and doing something based off of what that book says is a lot slimmer than you watching somebody complete something and watching them try to teach you how to do something, okay? Distractions. This journey is going to have a lot of distractions, okay? If you step out of your front door and you live remotely close to a market or a fast food restaurant or even a regular restaurant, okay, a mom and pop, family owned or a chain or anything like that, you're going to be very tempted to want to break out of the routine of fasting, okay? It's weird. But that 3-day hump that we all talk about, you get over that, and a lot of those distractions are almost irrelevant, okay? You'll look at them, you'll see them, you'll smell the food, and you might be tempted, but something clicks in the mind that says, I'll be okay without it. It's weird, man. You gotta get over that second and third day and make it to the fourth day. I don't know what it is about the third day. A lot of us can't explain it. The health reasoning. People will try and justify why they shouldn't fast, and it's silly to me. It's mind-blowing. If you are already in a certain routine of eating a certain kind of food, okay, and you stop eating that food, that is technically a form of fasting, okay? You're abstaining from the norm, so to speak. This is how I'm trying to define it for you. You change what you eat. You stop eating the junk food, the toaster, the toaster strudels, the pastries, the cookies, the cakes, pies, the breads that aren't really a healthy type of bread to eat, like white bread. Really, even wheat. Wheat isn't really that much better than the white bread, believe it or not. You following Chae McFadden, you're gonna learn a lot about the different foods. Okay, especially the foods that you believe are foods that we're supposed to be eating, and cooking foods the way that we've been taught to cook them for so long, believing that that's the way that we're supposed to take them in and eat them. Man, I got news for you. For example, I'll blow your mind with this: olive oil. We are not supposed to cook with olive oil. We can eat we can ingest olive oil. We are not supposed to cook with olive oil. I'll get to that in a later video, but I got a list of things here that I'm kind of just running down, and I just want to talk to you. I want to get out, okay? Suggestions. A lot of people are going to have suggestions for you, especially your family. This is what I'm going to tell you, because this is what I did and what I know works for me, okay? People suggested things. They said, hey, you should do this instead. I don't know why you're doing that, why you're not eating. You need to have your protein and things like that. Nothing that I could say to them would convince them enough that I knew what I was doing. And that's very frustrating, okay? People are very curious about what you're doing. And sometimes I'm not going to say obligated, but sometimes you're kind of cornered into having to explain to them why you're doing certain things. Nobody is just satisfied with, oh, hey, I'm doing this, this is why, and that's it. They'll ask questions, they'll really poke and prod, and really try to force their way into whatever routine it is that you've developed, and try to make whatever they're saying valid, and try to make you follow it, okay? Listen to what they're saying, but let it come this way and go right out that way, okay? Listen to them, hear them, but don't hear them, all right? Unless they've done this specific process, unless they have fasted before, unless they've done anything remotely close to what I'm showing you how to do here on my page, don't listen to them. This is why I want my results to speak for me before I even tell you anything. When I had mentioned the hard part is about to start, that is the hard part of me getting back into the gym. All right, it's not hard. At this point, I'm very motivated to go, because I see what my body is actually doing. I see the transition that's actually happening, and I want to work to make it the way that I want it. I want to see it. All right, I want to be cut again. I want to be a lot more built than I am now. I want to be a lot more muscular than I am now. So before I even touch on what you need to do specifically, I'm going to take you on the journey of getting back into the shape that I want to be in, so that you can actually see it in action. I see a lot of people on YouTube, man. A lot of these guys are like cut, jacked, and ripped, and they have a big following, which is great. I follow some of them, but nobody is seeing the process of how you actually got there. So let me be that one that can take you in the gym with me and show you specifically what I'm doing and why I'm doing it to get the results that I'm looking for. I'm Chae McFadden. I really appreciate you sticking around, watching this video. Like, subscribe, and share this video with someone that you know that wants to get into shape. They want to start fasting. They want to know how to do it. They want to know where to start. And they want to just, debunk a lot of the myths. Okay? Even if it's to compare it to another video that they saw. Alright? Stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.